Metaverse millionaires. What are we talking about? There's this thing called the SANDBOX. This is one of the top digital games that sells virtual real estate. It's pulling in more than $19 million in sales and now has companies from Atari to Binance to the Winklevoss's Gemini and NFT super collector Whale Shark paying up major money for virtual land. Pixelated land. But the SANDBOX isn't the only virtual real estate seller. Decentraland has posted more than 55 million in sales. In fact, over the past week alone, Decentraland has claimed 2 of the top 5 sales in the NFT world, worth $412,000 and $280,000 respectively. What are we even talking about? To the founder of the site that tracks these sales, Dan Kelly of nonfungible.com, Dan himself just sold a plot of his virtual land for more than $100,000. Dan, great to have you. Just when people were starting to wrap their minds around digital art, virtual real estate sales are spiking. And this is land you can't touch or build anything physical on, but the hype is very real and the money's real. Can you just explain in a nutshell for our viewers what it is?
Virtual land is a place where you're free to build whatever you want in a metaverse, much like the internet, like a website. I mean, you're free to build whatever kind of website you like. You're not bound by building codes and by different restrictions that centralized authorities put on that kind of stuff. So the possibilities are endless in the metaverse.
But it's fantasy land type stuff, correct? But the money's real. How are people and why are people paying up big money to not just buy these plots of lands, but then trade them and, I guess flip them for even more money?
Right. I think there's a big play on the scarcity of these digital plots of land. I mean, in Decentraland, I know there are a little bit over 90,000 plots in the world. Much of that is owned by the Decentraland Foundation. But these are extremely scarce assets, just like Bitcoin. There's a very limited supply of them, so people naturally are going to speculate on them.
Well, let's just explain a little bit here. The SANDBOX game is one area, and they sell their own digital plots. And then there's Decentraland. There are a couple of other ones here, but we can show the progression because perhaps the money to be made is not so much in buying the land, it's then selling it as it becomes more popular. So we can give you an example here of one such purchase and transaction. Here's Decentraland. I guess it's estate number 1777. Just work with me here, viewers, please. Back in 2019, it was bought for $27,316. By 2019 August, that person sold it for $31,000 and change. And just yesterday, he or she then sold it for $280,000. What makes it valuable?
Well, there's a number of aspects. I mean, that particular estate, it's about, it looks like more than 20 parcels big. So every parcel in the land in the virtual world is 16 meters by 16 meters. So they have that large estate of land. It's by 2 roads, which is that light gray area. And then it's also by 2 very large districts. So there's all these different aspects to the location of that land in this virtual world that people give value to. They're speculating that there's going to be a lot of traffic in these districts, that there's going to be a lot of traffic on the main roads. And that's how they come up with these valuations.
Do you have to be an accredited investor to even start trading these things?
No, absolutely not. I think that's part of the beauty of blockchain is that you are your own bank and you're responsible for your own actions. There's no regulation around this stuff yet. So there's lots of talk about that. But as it stands today, there's no accreditation or anything like that.
There are, I think some sites do have it, but there is some concern from even people within the so-called metaverse. For example, CRYPTOVOXELS, Ben Dodem, he is the founder of one of these areas where you buy and sell virtual. He believes that in a couple of months, we're really hitting a bubble and that maybe we might see that bubble pop. We could see a so-called crypto winter, which are these long periods of time, like we saw between 2018 and 2020, where prices don't even move and people could be hurt and lose a lot of money. What's the safety plan? Is there an off-ramp or an exit hatch?
No, I mean, and especially in NFTs, whereas like Ethereum or Bitcoin during the crypto winter, it was easier for people to get out of their positions. NFTs are they're fairly illiquid, meaning that they are hard to sell unless you're selling it for a great price or that kind of thing. So it is extremely high risk. And if we were to come on to something like that, then yeah, it would be difficult to offload these lands quickly.
Well, yeah, and quickly before we end here, how do we know that this won't become rife with all kinds of fraud?
We don't know. I think that that's kind of the beauty of decentralized ecosystem. I mean, everybody has to keep everybody else in check. I mean, obviously, we're not claiming fraud against like Decentraland or CryptoVoxels or anything like that, but when it comes to peer-to-peer trading, I mean, people need to do their research. They need to come to nonfungible.com and check that at least what they're buying is within the market range of what those offerings are typically selling for. It's all about making informed decisions and being responsible, I guess, for your own actions.
Yeah, just don't sue the rest of the taxpayers when you lose the money. Dan, thank you.
Exactly.
It is a brave new, I can't even say world, metaverse, brave new metaverse here with digital real estate. Thanks for talking to us about it. Dan Kelly, founder of nonfungible.com.